and welcome to the Back Porch Tapes, and thank you for watching. Today we're going to look for something to talk about. Usually when somebody wants to talk about Charles Manson, they go to the internet, they go to files or paperwork from the trial. I go to my garage and I dig through my boxes and I start looking for things that aren't on the internet to talk about. And today, I think I found something. Today we're going to talk about Zines. If you don't know what a Zine is, back in the 90s, people would collect together a bunch of thoughts that had to do with a particular subject. Usually it was music. And they would cut pictures out of magazines, and they would take them to the local office depot where they had copy machines at, or even to the library, and they would make off copies, and they would put them in a format where they were almost like you could fold a piece of paper in half and it would be a magazine. And then they would send this out to their friends, and their friends would read it, and it was like a magazine. It was like almost like an internet post before the internet ever came around. Well, Manson, he used to write for one of these Zines, and we're going to show you that. We're basically going to be talking about Manson's pen pals today, because when it comes to pen pals, most people, they refer to the people that are the authors of the books. Manson had author pen pals, or he had people running his organizations or whatever. But honestly, Manson had real pen pals, and we're going to show you a few of those today. Maybe you tried to write Manson at one point. Maybe you are his pen pal. We'll show you a couple other people that were Charlie's pen pal over time. I probably never realized it, but I was Charlie's friend, so he wrote me a lot. And I probably have more access to his writings than anybody does. So, why not share them? Why not share them with everybody who wants to see them anyway? Why does everything always have to be about a book? Why does everything always have to be for sale? Why does it always have to have advertising connected to it? When it comes to Charlie Manson, it always does. It always does. It always has some gimmick to it. It's always got some joke to it. It's always got money connected to it. But here, we've got the biggest files that anybody's got. And there ain't no money connected to this at all. And you can only get it here on the Back Porch Tapes. So we found some items, and let's check them out. Let's see what they are. There was plenty of, if you've ever been to the supermarket back around the 90s, there was plenty, or even around beginnings of 2000, there was plenty of times you could see in the aisle of a tabloid magazine called Weekly World News. And sometimes on the cover of Weekly World News, you would see, I don't know, all kinds of different creatures. There was a space boy that used to come up all the time. And there was also the Merman. He used to be on the cover all the time of the Weekly World News. Sometimes they caught him, sometimes they found him in a can of tuna, sometimes it was just all kinds of bizarre things with the Merman. Well, the Merman and Charlie Manson had something in common, because the Merman was on the cover and Manson was always in the magazine. He was either talking to Bush about bin Laden and how to, end the war, or he was showing, or he was doing his own exercise video, one that would sell more videotapes than Jane Fonda ever thought of. Well, that was all in this Weekly World News. Well, really, the reason I'm even showing you this picture of this Merman here is because that's Charles Manson's own picture. It was sent to him by the Merman himself. Well, actually the Merman don't exist, but it was sent to him by the creator of the Merman. The guy in the Weekly World News who was the Merman was also Charles Manson's pen pal. So when you see a cover of this edition with the Merman on the cover and Charles Manson on the inside, they were both friends with each other. Did you know that? So if you can ever get your hands on any of these copies of any of these editions of the Weekly World News, most of them have Charles Manson in it, and most of them are a pretty entertaining read. Most of the information's false, and now, as you know, Manson was going right along with it. have a lot of stamps on hand at sometimes, so he would ask favors of you. He would ask you to write people and ask them if they've got his letter. Well, this was one girl that he asked if I could write her and see if she got his letter. Well, she happened to be in Japan. So I did. I wrote her. Asked her, did you get Manson's letter? And she wrote me back and said, thank you for your letter. I received a letter from Charles Manson, so I'll mail him about it. From Japan. So Charles Manson had friends all over the world. They were worldwide. They weren't just authors. Then he had friends who were potential authors, but they wrote crazy magazines. And like I was telling you about, the Zines. This guy would actually send Manson questions, and they were crazy questions that Manson would answer, send them back, and this guy would print them in his Zine. And let's take a look at a few of those questions that guy used to ask Charlie, and we'll see Charlie's answers to those questions. Where it says send this on at the top, he would send this to me to show me first so I could make a copy of it and then send the original to the guy, which I did. This is only a copy of that, but still, it's a reference back to the time when Manson used to write to Zines, to Japan, to the Merman. Let's check out some of these questions this guy would ask. I guess he did an interview with Charlie because he says thanks for the interview in the part of the letter here, and then he says he's sorry if he pissed him off. So he probably said something that probably did piss Manson off. And then he says, my Zine ain't like that. I fucking love you, man. So do the people who read my Zine, not because of what the TV says, just because you're a sweet little funny dude. Anyway, let's get to some of the questions. How do you feel about people who eat shit? That's the kind of questions this guy would ask for his Zine, and Manson would answer. And Manson's answer was, protein power, look. Like shit? So get a handful of shit and rub it in one hand and eat it with the other and see babies come back in heads of lead. Number 2, what was Beach Boy dude? Was that Beach Boy dude fun to hang out with? I'm not the judge. Do you know if you'll be getting your guitar back anytime soon? That's up to you. Or you can be playing dumb. Why did you cut your hair a while back? I thought it looked cool. Now you look like my dad. I don't work to look cool. I am cool. I invented it when I dropped out of grade school. Do you write much poetry these days? No. Question number 6. Do you think Geraldo Rivera has a hard dick? I don't get off on people. And then he's got crossed out. His wife, maybe. Do you know where Linda Kasabian is these days? And what is she doing? She's wrapped around my dick when I jack off. What was your best LSD trip? I'll tell mine if you tell yours. Time without end is end without time. All times one time. What are your thoughts on why young people have so much admiration for you? It's them. It's all you for you. It's all yours. All my me's are God. Actually, it says, it's them, it's all you, and all yous are my me's. My me's are God. When I get rich and I'm able to come see you, can I give you a great big hug? No. So as you can see, I might be one of the more famous pen pals of Charles Manson, but this guy had a lot of pen pals. He had people writing him from all over the world, asking him all kinds of stupid questions all the time. This Zine was kind of like pre-internet, I guess, when somebody would ask the question and you felt the need to comment back. Sort of what Manson was doing, but he was doing it through the mail, which was, more time consuming. It took more effort to do something like that than it does nowadays to get on the internet and make some smart-ass remark. But anyway, I hope you learned something. Hope you liked it. I definitely know you didn't know Manson was pen pals with the Merman. It shocked the hell out of me when he sent me the picture. I actually had to get a hold of the Merman myself and say, hey dude, you're actually pen pals with Charles Manson? He said, yeah man, I write him. So I even confirmed that myself with the Merman. And you can look him up too. You can find him. He's somewhere out there building these little merman creatures still, I'm sure. And ask him what Manson told him. He was also right in Japan. All the way to Japan, Charles Manson was writing this girl in Japan. He was also writing Zines. Probably 3 things you didn't know. Anyway, thanks again for watching the Back Porch Tapes. I really appreciate it. We'll search more stuff. We'll go through more files. We'll look at more things. And we'll hopefully find more stuff that you'd never even heard of before. Because honestly, when it comes to Charles Manson, solving these crimes every day becomes a bore. Nobody's ever going to solve the crimes. Nobody. We can talk about it. We can pretend like we're solving it. We can act like we are. But we're not. Nobody ever will. It's history. It's history to talk about. And who better to talk about Charlie as a friend than me? Because I know more about that than anybody, it seems. Anyway, thanks again. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time here on the Back Porch Tapes. Peace.